Hey everybody, welcome back to the Food for Thought podcast. I'm your host, Michael O'Connor, and this one's going to be a little weird because, well, you can see us.
Hello.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Yo.
So basically the gist of this episode is that we are going to be reviving the series with a live-action format that is probably not going to work at all. But we're going to figure it out as we go along. So today we're going to be cooking, and our buddy over there, Mike Walendowski, who's been on a couple of previous episodes, is back. He'll be starting us off. Following that is going to be John, who's been on, I think you were in the second podcast and the third podcast, right?
Something like that, yeah. I think
Yeah.
I was in 2 or something.
Something along those lines. And then we have a new guest here, Riley Vaughn. You've never been in the Peanut Gallery, and you've never been in an episode, oddly enough.
I've never even watched an episode.
He's
I have
fresh
no clue
meat.
how this works.
Well, then, welcome to the podcast, then. I'm going to need a photo of you to memeify.
okay.
for
you have
the
plenty of
podcast.
those already.
I know, yeah. I just want one specifically for this, because I have a format going. It's hard to explain.
Wait till I'm
Anyway,
cooking, I'll
so
do
we're going to
some
go
funny
ahead
faces.
and cut and get started on the cooking. Let's do this. Okay, so here's basically how this is going to work. We're going to combine the podcast format with a live-action format, where we're going to start off every section of the episode here in the kitchen with one of the four of us cooking. And after that, we're going to do a quick taste test on the camera, and when we're done eating, we're going to cut back to the podcast segments in order to, give critique and praise for what we just had, and, talk about food recipes and where you got it from and all that. So the general gist of it is that we're just kind of sharing, meals together and being all homey and shit. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get started. Mike, come on in. So Mike, what are you making?
So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making ramen. This can be done, almost everything that you can get, right here, you can get at Aldi, pretty cheap. Don't remember the specifics, but basically what you're going to be doing is you need onions. Usually I use white or yellow, but it doesn't matter really. Mushrooms, you don't have to have mushrooms if you don't like it. Cilantro and green onions, this will be during the end. And as well as the soy sauce. I use low sodium, whatever. But you're gonna need the sesame oil, garlic oil, and then sriracha sauce. This is gonna be spicy, but the spice does not come until the beginning, so it will be in the broth. You're also going to need some broth as well. Depending on what you want to use in the broth, you can use beef stock or chicken stock or whatever. Really go traditional and use bone broth, like turkey bone broth, which is more a common way of using it. I have yet to do that, but that is one thing. But what you want.
Hello, everybody. We are all back. We've finished cooking, finished eating, and now I have a fuck ton of dishes to do, but that's beside the point. Wow. Okay, that was a really good way to start this off, frankly. So, Michael, why don't you go ahead and walk us through real quick what dish you made, just again, to, have it all concise.
I haven't, are you saying, the whole shebang, or...
Just, what was the dish? How
the
would you...
dish was, ramen. Homemade, not ramen, but close enough.
From, more or less from scratch ramen.
Pretty much, except the noodles and broth.
But I suppose you'd buy that kind of style noodle anyway.
You can't.
Yeah.
And make homemade.
The step is just what I will definitely say. The stuff that I use is economically friendly.
Economically friendly.
No, fuck eco. No.
Eco-friendly.
It's economical. So
Eco
if you're
as
a
an
student
economy. Fuck the environment.
If you're a student on
Don't
a
quote
budget,
me on that.
you can get all this stuff at Aldi. If you're a person that doesn't have an Aldi,
What's Aldi?
well, looks like you're screwed.
Fuck.
No,
You can get all this
genuinely.
stuff at any grocery store. Just Aldi is a more, I guess, I say economically
Affordable,
friendly.
yeah.
Affordable, yes.
It's definitely more affordable.
So if you're a student that needs a nice meal, here you go.
They don't have fucking rosemary for some reason.
Dude, are you gonna be up in arms about that this
I'm
whole episode?
salty,
It wasn't
Jesus.
just rosemary.
but I was looking for
Oh yeah,
rosemary.
I was looking for toothpicks. God damn it! Where's the toothpicks?
Bro, we're
Bro,
a
it's
small
Aldi. Why the
store.
fuck would they have toothpicks?
Rosemary is a goddamn
wonderful.
basic ass spice.
Okay, yeah, I will agree with that, but toothpicks is a bit much.
Like they had fucking cumin.
Okay,
but they
so the
didn't have
context of
goddamn
this
rosemary.
is that they went shopping to go find the stuff for what they're they're cooking, and they didn't have toothpicks because we don't have any in the house right now. We wanted to get some, and Riley needed rosemary to cook with, and apparently they didn't have it. The toothpicks are whatever, I think, but the rosemary is like a staple that needs to be there.
Yeah, none of the cashiers were named Rosemary. Like, what the fuck? I think at least one person.
Okay,
in
now
the
it's
store.
gone off the hinges into some weird third-party joke. So let's move on. So let's go around and like everybody like state what their opinion was on this. I guess like critiques, pros, cons, whatever you thought. We'll start with you, John, and then work back around to Mike.
I was. Well, food. It was good. It was tasty. Tasty bites. Yum yum.
I guess-
Tasty delicious.
Was there like anything you'd change about it? Like you said, the spice.
If there's anything I would change, the thing is, I'm a person who likes sodium, so the low sodium soy sauce was like okay. The thing is, my mom, she does the same thing with low sodium. She likes to have low sodium, which is fine, but salt. For me,
We
it
all
would be
do.
my preference.
That's high cholesterol.
Yeah. I have a heart attack. That's my that was my goal. No. But yeah, it was really good overall. I really wouldn't change much of it because it was good ramen.
John, have you ever heard of the gout?
Gotta catch that shit.
Yeah, that's just saying that happens.
Well, it's actually kind of hard to get the gout. You have to have like a genetic history of the capability
Yeah.
to have gout. Most people don't.
I just think of this.
Plus, you have to be older to get gout. It's hard to
ju-
get gout as a
Yeah, I just think of
20-something.
the stupid everybody hates Chris thing where he adds salt to everything. It's like salt.
That's what I
It's
was
a little
thinking.
more salt.
That's what I was thinking of too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But cool.
So Riley, what do you think about the meal?
I thought it was fucking awful. No, I'm just kidding. It was good. Really good. I needed to add a little bit of sriracha to it. But I think it was obvious that you weren't used to making it in such a large quantity.
Yeah,
But, I mean, the flavors were all good.
yeah. The issue is that going from taking care, just making a meal for one person to making
Oh,
it
yeah.
for a total of 4 people, spices and all that is kind of gonna be jumped. So when it came to the srirachas, I usually put the amount I put in the thing. New issue. The amount I put in the thing is usually hot enough for me, but that's again for one person.
Yeah. But, yeah, I used to have
Great
that. I used to have that problem when I did like scrambled eggs for like a lot of people that I wasn't used to. I'd either oversalt or undersalt. But yeah, no. Other than that, it was really good.
That was really, really, really good. I was trying to think of stuff that like I didn't super like about it, but it was kind of hard, all things considered. I think the most noticeable thing that I would have changed was probably the noodles. I probably would have left them a bit closer to being al dente, so they have a bit more of a bite to it. Because like the mushrooms and everything else is like kind of soft, almost kind of chewy. So having like a bit of more like substance to the noodles would have been nice. And then what Riley said, you know, maybe because of like the size of the order you made, so to speak. Like it was so much bigger than you're used to making. It was like hard to manage. I have to agree with that. But it was still good despite that. Just like it wasn't the same flavor you'd get if you made it for yourself.
Yeah, the 2 things that I will definitely say that for critiquing myself about it, but answering the one question about the noodles, that's the one thing with the noodles is depending on how the longest that you need the noodles to cook, 2 minutes. Usually after that you're good to go. After that it gets softer. So after a bigger dish, losing track of time and making sure everything else is being taken care of and doesn't burn the whole place down, noodles will get softer. But usually it's usually more stiffer or more not soft, but it's not like you're biting into a brick kind of thing.
I don't know. I thought the noodles were quite good.
I like
that they had like thickened really nicely being in the water for so long, and they I thought they went nicely with like a heavier ramen like that.
The thing is, personally, I like doughy stuff. I will make cookies really doughy. I like pork buns kind of thing. I just love that doughy, like just really really soft stuff. But that's my preference.
Yeah, it's definitely just comes down to personal preference.
But my issue was the egg, which is the problem was you're supposed to cook the. Well, they didn't technically explode it. They just so much of the yolk got together. It
broiled around it like it was hard boiling it basically.
Basically making a giant one egg. But
nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
it wasn't right, but it was still really good.
It
was still
good.
good.
It just wasn't the same as like breaking the yolk and having it like in
Yeah,
broth.
because
Sort of
the
like
thing
a
is,
bibimbap.
the thing
Well,
is,
bibimbap, you fry the egg beforehand and then put it on top.
Yeah, but it's
So,
like
like-
the same sort of deal that the yolk gets down into.
Yeah,
it.
you're right. Yeah.
the thing is, the issue it's a lot easier doing it per person because you cook it with the noodles. So then when you're done, you just put it in there and then it's all there. It takes about 45 seconds for the egg to get to be good to go. The problem is that the broth has to be boiling. It has to be bubbling and all that.
So you almost like soft boil the egg.
Yeah, you soft boil the egg. But since the issue was since I put it at low heat and to cook over time and it's such a bigger dish, it wasn't getting boiled or it wasn't boiling fast enough. So it wasn't getting to the point of boiling for that 45 seconds. So then my idiot self was like, oh, we're gonna just turn up the heat right now. And it's like, of course, when you turn up the heat, now it's gonna go from like 70, like a 45 to like fucking 89%. And like, it's jumping. So just a span of a few seconds. But yeah, no. But the eggs are optional. Like, if you don't like eggs, it's not a requirement. It's special. It definitely isn't. Same goes with cilantro and the green onions. That's optional. Sometimes people will add thyme. Sometimes.
Time would be pretty good, I think.
But it's you can mix that in the broth if you want to. That's just for show.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's really nice. I prefer it. I like cilantro. I grew up in a family that my mom put cilantro in everything. My sister hates it. It's hilarious.
Cilantro's great. I don't know how people can not like
Yeah, but
cilantro.
cilantro's fucking
My
awesome.
sister's
I don't.
When
not-
you're
I'm not used to
allergic,
it.
it's a different story.
It's a tragedy.
I'm not
Being
used
allergic is one
to
thing,
having
but-
cilantro in a ramen, and I usually cook the green onions like in the broth, so like they are softer. But like, yeah, it was still very good.
Yeah, green onions are like, I like using green onions to cook. Just because I feel like it's like it adds flavor to something that like, for example, if anything that uses onions, I feel like if you add green onions, but like a little bit, not much, it makes it a little more.
Like on top of the regular onion.
Yeah,
Yeah, because if you cook with like the onion, it like mellows out the
Oh, yeah,
flavor, but
I
adding the
suppose
green
you
onion
already-
brings some of it back.
You already cooked the red onion in the broth, so yeah. The green
yeah,
onion is
and that's
more
another thing.
burnt.
Red, you can use any onion, like yellow onion, white onion, or whatever. Sweet onion, I'm not sure, but mostly white,
I would-
yellow, or red. It'll be fine.
I think red onion was a better choice than like a white onion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like it has more like natural
You
flavor
want
to
that
it.
stronger looking bite, like
Yeah.
a green or a red onion, or hell, even chives would give you rather than a white onion.
Yeah.
In a broth at least.
Have you
Yeah.
ever had pho? Pho.
Vietnamese-
P-H-O.
It's a Vietnamese like
Yeah,
soup.
Mhm.
It kind of is similar to what you kind of made, replacing the noodles with like roots.
Oh
Or-
yeah,
or-
I seen something
Well,
about
they
that.
have, like,
Yeah,
flat
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
noodles.
the rice noodles. is what
I know
it
you're
is.
talking about.
It's like a fettuccine to be honest.
Yeah, it's super
If
skinny
you-
noodles, and you could replace it with like meats.
for
and
anybody
stuff.
that- if you guys have like, apparently Kalamazoo has it, an Asian market or whatever. Apparently there's a store like that. But if you have a place that does, that sells more ethnic or Oriental. You know, not like your Kroger's or anything or your Walmart. Basically, you're like get almost any ingredient kind of store. Kombu leaves or seaweed. They're just basically like chips.
Yeah.
You can add that into the your ramen. Like including with the cilantro and all that. That gives it more flavor. Or those pork bun things. I don't know, just add extra stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not a requirement. Just a little added flavor if you want to be more traditional. But what I just did is just more economic or affordable. You can make a $1.19 ramen noodle pack into a $10 meal. I'll tell you that. Trying to spice up. If you're trying to get your spouse coming over and you want to spice things up, spicy ramen. You gotta,
Quite literally. Want to spice things up? Spice her up. All right, cool. So that was basically the gist of it. Good job, dude.
thanks.
So we're gonna come back to this tomorrow with John's cooking. Right?
Yeah.
John's cooking. All right, so John, tell us, what are you making?
So we are making chicken roll-ups, and basically how you make chicken roll-ups is you flatten your meat out with chicken. We're gonna flatten the chicken meat. This is a chicken tenderloin, and basically what I'm doing is flattening it. We don't really have an actual hammer, so we're just using. Sorry, we don't have like a meat hammer. We have an actual hammer, so we're gonna just use that. And so basically what we're doing is flattening out the chicken. So it's really nice and thin when you pull it out. So it's almost like a thin slice of meat. Yeah, so basically we lay it flat and we pull out our ham slices. I think I'm gonna just do 2 slices of ham for every piece of chicken because I think we have enough chicken for that. But basically we lay our cheese and our ham. And it looks pretty freaking not pretty, but when we roll it up, hopefully we roll it up right. And then with our toothpicks, which Michael will help me do. Thank you. I need 2. Actually, I might be okay with just 1. No, we got to do 2. One going one way, make sure it gets through. And then one going the other way. These are pretty thick toothpicks too, so we have them like that. And basically we do this multiple times for every roll up. And it looks pretty nasty looking, but once we get it cooked in here, it'll be really good.
Okay, well, that was really good. Like, that was some seriously fucking hearty food. Michael, you look different. What happened?
I'm not following this joke. That's dumb.
Michael had to back out for this night's cooking and tomorrow night's cooking because he has to work. So Tia came in to
Hello.
fill in the critique space. She was on the 2nd episode and the 3rd episode, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, so you've been on a couple of them here and there.
And
Welcome back.
in the peanut gallery a few times.
Yes, this is true. The Peanut Gallery has been like everybody at this point. I've almost been in the Peanut Gallery, and I host this show.
I've never been
Basically,
on the
yeah.
peanut gallery.
Riley's just a dumbass, so he doesn't count.
We can take that.
Anyway,
Whose meal did
we-
we have today?
Yes,
I know we just
John.
sleep,
I was
you
about to
little
get to that.
bitch. Fucking
We-
Irish.
So today we had John's dish. John, why don't you walk us through real quick what you made? Just
All right, so this is a meal that my dad has made all throughout his college, and every time he would make it at my home when I was a kid. It's basically called chicken roll-ups. Basically, all you have to do is basically flatten a piece of chicken, put a bit of cheese in the center on top of that, and then a slice of ham on top, and then you roll it up, stick it with toothpicks,
and then you put it in a pan, you heat it up. Then after that, you put a little wine in there, or cooking wine. It's up to you. Usually white wine. And then you put in a little bit of cream of chicken soup in there, and that's all you really need. And then you let it heat up, boil, and make sure the chicken's cooked all the way through. And usually we serve it with noodles, and that's what we did today. And it was really good, chicken roll-ups.
It really was surprisingly good. So we'll do the same thing we did last time. We'll start at that side of the room with you, Tia, and we'll work our way around with like pros, cons, critiques, and opinions and stuff.
Okay.
Constructive criticism, more or less.
Sorry, I'm dying. So pros, it's a super simple meal to make, and it's very filling. So, you know, depending on how much you make, you have a lot left over, which is nice. Well, I guess that could be a con, because if you have too much and then you get sick of it, and then you're like, well, now what do I do? But I mean, yeah, it's super simple. I think that like if I were to put like my own spin on it, I would use fettuccine noodles, and more cheese, or like a different kind of cheese. I'm not super proficient when it comes to cooking and cheeses, but I would use probably a different kind of cheese. Yeah, different type of cheese, fettuccine noodles. Maybe like, I was gonna say what type of chicken, but that's not the question I wanted to ask.
Like what cut of chicken?
Yeah.
Like the
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're chicken. Actually, what did I call it?
tenderloins.
Yes,
They're
chicken
tenderloins.
I was gonna say chicken tenders, so that sounds weird. Chicken tenderloins.
Tendies.
Tenderloins, but yeah. Chicken tenders are great. But anyways, chicken tenderloins. So, I bet you can. I asked my dad like what kind of chicken to use, and he's like any kind of chicken really, as long as it's like off the bone, and you can flatten it. So I could have done like a chicken breast.
Yeah, I think
something
that
like
if I were to put my own spin on it, then that's what I would use probably.
Yeah. And then Riley, you thought of something else, kind of different kind of chicken. What kind of chicken?
I would have personally done boneless thighs because I personally prefer dark meat over white. It's always much more tender, even no matter how much you cook it. And I think it would just work. It would just completely fall apart, like in the perfect way, like when you ate it afterwards with all the noodles. Pretty good.
Nice. That's it. That's it for me.
I also would have probably seasoned the chicken a little, pepper and garlic powder, like before I rolled them up, and just sort of like use that as a rub. And then a sharper cheese, like a sharp cheddar or an Asiago, would have been really good. But other than that, I really enjoyed the dish. It was filling, like a lot more filling than it looks, and I would make it on my own, definitely.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, like how filling it was kind of surprised me, because when I heard the concept of chicken roll-ups, I was like, oh, okay, so it's kind of like an appetizer. No, not at all. It's really good, and it's surprisingly good for its simplicity, especially. Like a lot of simple dishes can be good, but when you think about something like this, you wouldn't think it's like its own meal. But you pulled it off really damn well.
It's basically an alcoholic's chicken divan, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. There's a lot of wine in this recipe.
It was only like a can and a half.
So like
2.
24 ounces of wine.
No, it was not 24.
An
It was
Italian
like,
glass.
Oh wait,
It
those
was
were
like 18 ounces
Fine.
of wine, possibly.
That's like almost the amount of my reusable water bottle,
Oh my god, that's a lot of wine. Anyway,
which is 20 ounces. So
yikes. Anyway,
that's what they
I'll
give you
have
the
to do
taste.
that.
it's really good though, because it all just cooks off, so you don't really like you taste like a bunch of alcohol
Yeah.
in it, and it gives it like
Yeah.
this kind of fruity flavor.
It
Which is
has
interesting.
that the dry sort of white grape flavor.
Exactly, yeah, and that's kind of good, especially when you pair it with. Like, you're right though, pairing it with like maybe a sharper cheese, like a sharper cheddar.
Could have
would
really
be-
balanced out the mild, summery flavor of a white wine.
Yeah,
Especially when I first poured the wine in, you could just only smell wine.
Oh, God,
But after
yeah.
after I had it set for like in there, sitting in there for
yeah,
about probably
John
like
came.
10
I was
minutes,
just chilling on the couch,
it-
and John
it
came out here and
slowly
asked me.
turned.
He was like, "What does it smell like to you?" I was like, "It smells like wine."
it was like somebody's boiling wine.
Yeah. But then once the alcohol cooked through, it just like you could smell like the cheese and the chicken.
It smells really good too.
Yeah, it did smell good.
If anything, I'd probably cut the amount of wine in half and then use chicken stock as the other half to fill it in, because that way you get some of the natural flavor building back up. into
I'd
it.
almost include more wine.
Yeah.
Well, you're an
of course you
alcoholic.
would.
Sorry, Italian.
Italian.
You don't have
What's
to
the
get close.
difference?
But exactly.
For emphasis.
What's the difference?
Yeah. It's like saying, what's the difference between an Irishman and an alcoholic? Nothing.
Nothing.
An alcoholic can stand up.
Italians can hold their alcohol. The Irish just
They
Have
just
fun
fall
with
down the
it.
stairs.
just-
And
drink
make
a
really
lot of
good
it.
alcohol.
So do they. Have you ever? had
Sorry,
this?
all
No,
Italians
I
and
haven't.
Irish.
Sounds like your problem.
Any-
Fuck you.
Anyway.
We're
it's
trying
just-
to
it's just a
compliment you.
joke. It's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
joke.
Anyway, but yeah, I would have like maybe used some chicken stock. I want to advocate for like making a roux and using it to make a cheese, or that roux to make a cheese sauce, because it'd be super creamy and like
Ooh.
you get the fruitiness of the wine.
Maybe add
You
like
can
a,
do, cheese
maybe add like a
blend.
little bit of tarragon to get that like weird bite. in the
Ooh, yeah, or
background.
turmeric. I think turmeric would be really interesting with the
could be
ham
good.
and chicken
The two
combo.
T's.
Exactly, yeah. Like that's the thing though. Like what I kept noticing was that I kept thinking of different options. Like, oh, you could do it with like a white softer cheese and add a little bit of citrus, some like basil,
It's a
and like
very
make it
versatile
kind of tangy.
recipe.
Yeah, it's very versatile. Like it's really impressive how much you can do with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It's
because
very
it's such a
basic.
simple recipe. You can
You can
make it one way,
experiment.
make it another way. There's so many different things you can do with it.
Mm.
So
And any single one of them is delicious. So.
Exactly, yeah. I almost want to do it like a slow cooker and like let the chicken get super like
fuck.
tender
Yeah,
and
you
like
could
Oh my
totally
god.
peel.
That's what
Get
we
peel
some
do.
it
like
apart.
thighs and slow cook them.
Oh
so
my
it,
God.
like,
That's
melts.
what
It's
my
awesome.
mom does with a angel hair chicken recipe that she does. It's-
You might have to make that sometime.
Oh yeah, I think so.
I'll ask my. I think I have the recipe somewhere.
I feel like the one thing that I was like expecting but we didn't do was like a vegetable side. I felt kind of guilty not having a vegetable to eat.
Yeah.
That's because you're a bitch.
we're in college. We don't
I'm also
need
the host of the
vegetables.
show. I can
Yeah,
evaporate you
the-
from existence right now.
Don't-
Any-
You could-
anyone
don't
aged
nothing personnel, kid
18
me.
to 23 doesn't eat vegetables.
You could
Especially
add.
if they're in college.
You could add a vegetable if you wanted to for this. But
Asparagus.
because my dad when he made it,
Broccoli.
it was during college, so he
Sprouts.
had always like would add stuff probably. And he would, and the nice thing about this meal is that you can have a lot. You can make a lot and then have a lot for leftovers later on, and it's pretty affordable and pretty simple, and it's easy to experiment with if you wanted to. So.
But I think it's like equally interesting. It's like I just thought about this. You could technically separate the pasta and like the meat aspect of it, so you can change up like the meats you're using with the roll-ups, and then make like macaroni and cheese or something instead of like just like a noodle base.
This recipe too would also just work with rice if you wanted, like white rice.
Yeah, I would go for a softer cheese though. If you're gonna go for white
Yeah,
rice, I
if you're
think.
doing
Yeah.
rice.
But yeah, you could definitely do it. Is the point? Ooh, imagine this with like beef, like instead, like beef and ham.
That almost seems like it would be too heavy.
You think that,
Maybe
but
a
maybe you
little
could lighten it up using like the lighter taste of the wine, and maybe rice instead of noodles, because rice tends to be just a little bit more even, I suppose, less like blunt. I think. And then if you add like a vegetable to it, it kind of brings it out. You can use like mint flavors because beef and mint actually go together kind of well. Gives you like a fresh, odd, like refreshing bite to it. Yeah, it's like I'm saying, it's versatile. Like
Yeah,
it's
very
impressive.
versatile.
I don't have much to suggest because I don't cook. And I have not made a meal for this because I can't cook. It's not that I can't cook, but I just don't know how to make a whole bunch of stuff. I'm good at following directions, so I could probably make something.
That's all of us really. We don't
Tune in to
think
the
off
next
top of our
episode
head.
of Food for Thought, where we all teach Tia how to cook,
Uh,
and it goes horribly wrong. We
We
burn
can
down
make
our house.
mac and
Honestly,
chili,
it
which
w-
is pretty.
Yeah. Honestly, if anything were to go wrong, it'd be y'all's fault. Because y'all are obnoxious.
We don't have a fire extinguisher either, do we?
Yeah, it's outside.
Oh, there's one in the hall.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think there's one.
Okay.
I'm
If
good
not,
at-
we're
I just thought
gonna
about that. I was
I'm
like,
good at
I
following
thought about that. Like, we're gonna
directions
doing a
and
lot of
not being
cooking and like a
obnoxious.
lot of like heating up and boiling stuff. What else burns down the house? Where the fuck are we gonna put it out with?
I don't know.
I feel like all
I just
three of
know
us-
I'm gonna jump out a
Peon.
window if that's
all,
the case.
all three of us,
Peon.
all three of us teaching Tia would just be pure chaos.
Because
Yeah,
we all
one
have
person.
we all
One
have
of
different
us.
methods of cooking too,
and
like,
we're
of
all
us
like
have
different
energies.
fucking
Literally just
energies
thinking
just
about
coming
this.
in and
Just thinking about that is driving me crazy.
like that. That's an anxiety attack just in thought.
Yes.
What
it
we
would have
could
to
do-
be like one at a time.
like
Yeah.
one person does an appetizer, one person does an entree, one person does a dessert. And that way we teach like a different style of cooking with a different dish, and it doesn't coagulate. The word of the day into something just this amalgamation of shit.
Yeah, the word of today is coagulate. What was the word of last time we were here yesterday?
Did we have one?
Yes, we did. It was
remember.
collection or.
I don't fucking.
Michael will edit what he says right here.
Nah.
But that's what the water is for. Even though it's going to be diluting the flavor a little bit, it's going to add more consistency.
And we're good. Okay, so
Yeah, thanks for making that work for me. Thank you for adding additional work to my editing load.
You're welcome. Yeah. And then, he's going to have like an image of Dewey just flying across the screen. I'm just trying to add in details. He's
Yeah,
like,
here, and this is where I put
"Hello."
up the picture of the reused Jack Skellington
I want
head
some
from James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah,
Right
okay.
here.
Now I want you to edit in like Nick Cage flying in, but on like Superman's face into a car, have a few explosions, and then you can do that, right?
I won't be surprised if he said "fuck you, Riley." So
Just fades into the screen.
I see.
Probably with like an
A puff of smoke.
with probably
Yeah.
an embarrassing photo of me.
But
that he has
anyways,
for Black
I have
I
so
thought
many
my dish was pretty good because I've never made it before, and it basically tasted almost exactly the way my dad usually makes it, which is very good. So I was pretty satisfied.
I feel like
with it.
there's like no better outcome to making something that you've eaten like in your childhood, and then you remake it and it tastes exactly like
Yes.
how you remember it. I feel like that's always a great accomplishment.
And similar to what Riley's dish was yesterday. I'm sorry, what Mike's dish was yesterday. I had just the right amount of food in my bowl. I did not need any more, or I did not need any less. So I was very satisfied.
Cool.
We're all
So-
looking at you like, okay.
Oh yeah, no, I'm about to do the transition. I love how every time I'm about to say something, you guys call me out for not saying anything, and I'm like, I was
Shit
literally
show.
just about to say it. Well, that was fantastic, John. Thank you very much. That was really good. And now, next up is Riley, who's been talking this shit up like for the past 2 days, like
2
week
weeks.
actually, 2
Come
weeks. Let's go ahead and cut to him cooking his dish. Right.
Right, I normally do.
Oh yeah.
You found it yet? Yo, what's up, pussies? Today we're making my my homemade ragu. Now it's fucking early as hell in the morning, and we're all loopy because it's an all-day goddamn dish. Right now I'm cutting up the Italian sausage because it's a very hearty meat gravy.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a mixture of mild and hot because, well, I'm gonna try it spicier than I normally do. Spicy. And everyone here likes spice, so whatever. It's fine. I gotta cut these basically all into 2-inch sort of lengths here. And these are gonna flavor the entire sauce pretty much. They're gonna be stewing in it all day. And just adding their spice to it.
All right. So we are back. Wow. You know how they say Italian food would like put you to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah, this is definitely that
it's
kind of
starting to
drugs
hit me.
in the food.
You don't need
God,
roofies when
John.
you got fucking ragu.
That's the thing, Riley. You did roofie us. The R in ragu, it's an anagram. The R in
Yeah,
ragu.
roofies are great.
Acronym. Not
Uh,
Roofies are great. I like that. It's funny. So, Riley, why don't you go ahead and walk us through what you made?
I made an Italian sausage ragu. It's basically like when you hear Italians speak of sauces as a like meat gravy. This is basically that. You can't get much more gravy-like in terms of a pasta sauce.
So, like, how would you describe it to somebody who didn't really know what a ragu was?
You know what like, as if your mouth had an orgasm.
Not what it tastes like, what it is. Because, like, I know for a fact that I wasn't 100% certain what ragu was.
It's ragu is almost like a more soupy tomato sauce, but it has like a lot of meat and like vegetables in it, so it is still like really hearty. It's almost like if you put like a tomato sauce version of beef stew just all over your fucking noodles and wang doodled it in your mouth.
You said something to me earlier. You mentioned that it was kind of like a beef gravy, like something you could put on like biscuits and gravy. It's kind of like that kind of gravy, but instead of like gravy, it's more of tomatoes.
Yeah, that's a good analogy for it, actually.
He told me that earlier. I can't take credit for that.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that, really. But so I think we're all very impressed by that.
I was very impressed.
So Mike, here's what's gonna.
Like you're looking a bit gayer today.
Really, I couldn't tell.
Justin joined us for this one
Hey guys.
because neither Tia nor Mike could be on this. Could be here today, but so what we did for the last two things, Justin was moving around in a circle, skipping over the person who cooked, so they go last and talk about what they did because they have the most experience with it, generally speaking. And we give like critiques and like praise and stuff. Just kind of talk through what you thought about it, what you think you could change, stuff like that.
Sorry, I got a little distracted. Your spider's moving very quickly.
There's a
Karen?
there's a spider in the window that we named Karen.
She's about to ask for a manager. Hold on.
Yeah.
She's going fast.
Oh, she's moving to kill something. Yep.
It's hunting hours for spiders, so
Sorry, I got
Real
very distracted.
spider hours has begun.
real spider bro, jumpy boy.
Real
hours.
arachne
hours.
hours.
Jumpy boy.
Anyway, Justin.
Overall, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Most of you guys kept getting the garlic flavor. I didn't get any garlic flavor for some reason. Maybe
I don't
it's
think
just-
you know what garlic tastes like.
That's a lie.
there
I
were
cook with
3
garlic.
cloves of
I
garlic.
cook with garlic all the time.
Maybe you're just used to it then. So you didn't.
Maybe I'm just like
maybe
at
the
this
flavors
point I'm
masked it.
so like taste bud blind to it because I use it so much.
Maybe, yeah.
But
You
overall,
use garlic that much. Maybe you should kick cold back on much garlic.
maybe. Well, it's mostly because like whenever I'm at home and I'm cooking, I always choose recipes with garlic because like why not? Because it's
It's a valuable
but
seasoning.
the spicy Italian sausage went in really well with it. I loved how you put the carrots in there. I feel like that was a very good touch for that. I can't really think of any other critiques. I can't. I was just shocked.
It was just good.
It was
You were
really
like, wow,
good.
a home cooked meal.
Was good.
Oh.
Next.
Oh my god, no. Yeah, compared to like everything I've been eating at college, yeah, it was
good.
fantastic. Astronomically better than anything I've eaten so far on campus.
To be fair, all you do is go to Draper Carry Out. And
That's
get
fair.
sandwiches, So
But don't
If you
knock
went to
Trader
like
Carry Out.
Bistro across the street, you might have something a bit better.
yeah,
Maybe.
their Taco Tuesday isn't bad.
Oh,
It's
They
better.
got like a ramen bar. It's pretty good.
Have they done a ramen bar before? I've missed that then.
I've definitely missed
That's
that.
your problem. They also
Yeah.
have like mac and cheese balls.
I know they do that.
Yeah, I've seen
Those
those.
are fucking good.
Yes, I have just homemade meals that they rotate every week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, homemade is a stretch, but yeah. I see what you mean.
Oh,
So, John, what did you think?
It was really good. Wow.
This
New
is-
commentary.
See, this is like World War II Italian food, where it like brainwashes you into
Okay.
thinking it's really great.
Blaming
so
the Jews for all
basically-
your goddamn problems.
Yeah. It's a cure for what ails you. Fascism.
oh my god.
Give away your rights. Everything will be fine. Trust me. So what? Your family might die. At least the economy's good.
Oh my god. Well,
At least they can. Well,
At least the economy's good until Patton rolls up with his tanks and fucks your shit up.
but yeah.
But yeah, right, John.
The meal was very good. It was very tasty. It was full of flavor. It was definitely like not like anything in resemblance of flavor. It had a lot of flavor. But I will say, like for me, I have a personal preference on spice. I'm not a person who like is really picky on spice. It's just when I can have spice when I want it, but like if I were to make it again, it would be a little less spicy because you did use something. You used half spicy
half of the Italian sausage I used was spicy and half was mild.
I would just like do like a regular.
That's how when my dad has made it before, he usually does that. I just wanted let's add a bit of kick to it. Why not? They got both right here.
That's fair.
Yeah, overall it was really tasty. The noodles were good. Went really well with the whole meal. For the first time, I actually had like another smaller bowl of just the sauce. Which was good.
I will say though, you cannot have this sauce with like a spaghetti noodle. It's just too runny.
Yeah.
It won't work as well.
See, that's the thing though. I thought it was pretty
you need a
cohesive.
more hearty noodle like a rigatoni or like maybe even like bow tie.
You did not just go rigatoni.
Rigatoni.
It's like my mom saying
Pretentious
Parmesan.
asshole.
What do you want from me?
It's like my mom saying
I'm Italian.
mozzarella
Fuck his mother.
and
Mozzarella.
guacamole.
You're not Italian. You're an alcoholic.
Same thing. Jackass.
We've made that joke every three.
Listen, you fucking dill hole. I'll shove a goddamn spicy Italian sausage up your peener.
Thanks for adding that waveform to my work. I appreciate that. No,
I mean,
but
that's not the worst thing you
yeah.
put in these things.
It's the second time I've threatened your life too.
probably more than that. We just didn't catch that.
Mike is a pretty cool
dude. Don't worry, he's alright. He's alive. We'll talk. For now. We haven't scalped Chris Martin yet. So
That is in the best of.
That's from the
this
fucking
is my
podcast.
Yeah,
quote.
that's from the podcast.
It's my
yeah.
property. Don't at me. Okay, bye.
No, add him immensely.
Fine, at me. I don't care. Okay, anyways.
Okay.
Michael, what did you think?
Oh, it was really fucking good. I almost immediately noticed while I was eating it that I was like really focused on eating it. Like the other times we were like conversing and like chatting and enjoying like the experience.
This time it was
and
just
the
like,
meal. This time was like, okay, I just need to
fuck.
get more of this.
Oh,
in
God,
Stop. Look at how big that waveform is, you asshole.
That was
Jesus
actually me.
Christ.
That was him.
This is him.
Oh,
Slightly smaller.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a real big difference there. Either way.
ASMR podcast.
God no, it'd be awful.
Okay, no.
But yeah, it was really good. I went back for not only for seconds, but I wiped the bowl with a piece of bread. Like, it was very good. I was very hell bent on getting every bit of it. I will say though that for as good as it was a lot of garlic, which made it almost kind of bitter.
It actually called for 4 cloves of garlic. I only used 3.
I think that was a good call
Well,
that
'cause
was,
we only
it's
had
just
3.
so much garlic. Like, I feel like you need more aromatics to kind of mellow the flavor out because it's a little bitter almost.
Well, the bitterness was probably because I didn't have. You're supposed to put in a cup of dry red wine. I didn't have that. I had to use the last little bit of a Sauvignon Blanc and then mix that with the red wine vinegar.
Oh,
and
maybe
hope for
that's
the
why
best.
then. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's probably the vinegar coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
For other viewers who are confused on what Riley just said, he said Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
He's just being a pretentious asshole again. Anyway, this is what we have to deal with.
I live with this person.
No, but same.
I don't.
Wait, you live here?
No,
Where have I seen you?
I sleep in the Harry Potter closet.
he's your
that's right
roommate.
behind us. So
But
yeah.
yeah. Maybe I guess if you'd followed the recipe like perfectly, it wouldn't have been a problem then. Like if you could have rather.
If America didn't have fascist alcohol laws, I could have.
It's a fascist. It's based on reasonable logic.
It's not.
Well, not 100%. It's not foolproof logic, but there's reason to it. Like it's not scientific. It's just like creative. Whatever. The point is that it was a little bitter, and I thought at first it was a lot, but I got used to it really quickly, and I started to really enjoy it because like the flavors complemented a bitter taste, frankly. So I wasn't mad about it. It was really good. I did feel like it needed like some zest almost. Some citrusy, like I said, maybe just a little bit.
I kind of
For some
felt
reason,
that too. I couldn't tell
I felt
what kind
felt
it
like I
was.
couldn't see. That's the thing too. I didn't sense it. I wanted it.
Right. It's like I couldn't tell
and
what
I honestly couldn't tell you what kind of citrus I think. would
Right.
go
That's
well
what I was
or
trying to get.
anything.
It's like
maybe grapefruit because it was already kind
Oh.
of bitter, so adding a little bit of tang to it
Interesting.
would be kind of interesting.
yeah.
Like in this iteration, like, you know,
That might be pretty good.
yeah.
I was just thinking something mildly more like I want to call it a bland side dish next to it, but like something of mixed vegetables or
Yeah.
mixed fruit.
some kind of vegetable, just to even it out.
It goes well with a salad.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that was
like a
Italian dressing.
And then
or
you
Caesar.
could
Yeah.
get the
Caesar would be
citrusy
good.
in the dressing.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because that would probably.
Yeah,
be
and
too
if you eat them at the same time, like, it
Yeah.
balances out. Yeah, maybe that's a
Like,
good way to do it.
I
Maybe.
make this like cooked, like boiled cucumber and boiled. I forget what it's called.
Honestly,
Dish.
fucking like Mediterranean salad.
Mediterranean salad.
Ooh, yeah, Mediterranean salad. That'd be a really nice light appetizer for this.
Yeah.
I think like a really good light appetizer. But yeah, it was really, really fucking good.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And the fact that like if we didn't, no one has mentioned this yet. We this was made in a crock pot. Like, you made this in a crock pot, so it was brewing all day, and that sausage just melted in your mouth.
9 hours.
You don't
Yeah,
have to zoom in every
freaking
single
nice.
time
Yeah.
you talk.
Please don't.
Right.
Please don't actually, because now I'm gonna have to wait like 35 minutes for the vocal leveler to just fix all of this. But yeah, it was very good. It was surprisingly good. So, how do you think you did it? Rather,
Well, it was my first time making it, so I thought it would turn out pretty well.
That's very shocking to me.
I'd like to actually have dry red wine to use next time, and I'll remember to put in a bit of anchovy paste because that just makes some of the flavors pop. And I do like 1 or 2 more carrots. But other than that,
Yeah, some more carrots, man.
Yeah.
Because it helps mellow it out.
I
It
even
gives
put
some
in I
body.
put in an extra carrot too.
Oh, you did?
Like they called for 2 carrots, I put in 3.
Oh, okay. So you put like 4 or 5 in next time.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good goal. I think having more carrot in there too is nice because it
Yeah.
gives more
Yeah,
more to bite.
yeah.
into.
There's more to bite into instead of just meat.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah. Having a lot of meat was good, but I liked the carrots especially.
Yeah.
They
The
carrots
very
were nice.
They weren't too soft. They were like nice and tender.
Oh.
I was surprised because
it's
next to
the
the
best
meat, like I
carrots
thought,
I've-
okay, the meat's this soft, like these carrots are gonna fall apart. No.
I will say I do love the way the sausage just melts in.
It did.
Oh,
it
God,
was
it
very
was-
well.
It was so good.
I was telling John when we were like cooking them initially, I'm like, it actually like it doesn't matter if you overcook the sausages here because by the end of this shit they're gonna be so tender it won't matter.
True.
They could be like hard as rocks by the time you put them in.
It'll still be okay.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I noticed there was a lot of like there's some blackening on the ends of some of them, some of the
Oh
sausage,
yeah.
and it was really good because you got that kind of like burnt, crispy flavor
Yeah.
along with like this really tender sausage. You're like, what?
When I cook
Good.
like Italian sausage or breakfast sausage, even I like getting like that brown like golden like sear on all of it, and like just like a little bit of like blackening on like one of the sides, and then I'm like, okay, done.
Cool. I like that idea.
It gives you that little bit of smokiness.
Can't be beat. So, I think the consensus is we're all ridiculously impressed.
Absolutely.
And now we're all gonna fall into a food coma and cut to my cooking, which is probably going to pale in comparison now. I'm a little worried.
So he's gonna make donuts for us.
He's making a Kraft mac and cheese.
Kraft mac.
Hey,
no,
I'm
And
put
frozen
he's-
chicken nuggets.
He's going to
I'm
make
putting-
ham sandwiches.
Don't
No
shit
bread,
talk like
just
the best
ham.
midnight meal out there.
Yeah, but it's not like when you're showing off culinary skills.
I can't wait for Michael to serve us his soup. It's only tomato soup.
Campbell's chicken
Campbell's
noodle
tomato
soup.
soup.
Yeah.
No, see, that's the trick. It's
It's
half,
water.
It's 1 can of chicken noodle and then 3 cans of tomato.
That sounds fucking atrocious.
Does it?
I want
I don't know,
Yeah.
it could work. Chicken and tomato, it's a good
That
combo.
sounds
I feel like
atrocious.
if you did that, you'd have to maybe balance it out a little bit. I feel like 3 to 1 is
Some water. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like if you did that, I need my stomach pumped.
It's only Campbell's. Come on, not that bad.
Exactly.
All right, cut to me cooking now.
So, Michael, tell us what you're doing.
So my recipe is a baked salmon with bell peppers, rice, and a avocado mango salsa, which is designed to be like an additional accoutrement to everything else in the dish. So what I'm starting off with is the salsa because I want to give it time to like allow the flavor to kind of adhere to each other, so to speak. And because it can be done basically whenever. I probably should have done this last night because now I'm doing it the day of. And if I'd waited, even if I'd given it like 24 hours, it would have been a bit better. But honestly, I'm not that concerned about it. So the main ingredients in this salsa to start off are cilantro, lime juice, pepper. The original recipe. I based this off of calls for serrano peppers, but serrano peppers don't have a good flavor, so I went for jalapeno instead. And avocado and mango. It's a pretty simple fucking salsa. It's not really anything you have to, strictly speaking, worry all that much about. We shall begin. We're back. We just finished my dish, which I think we can all say was
Terrible. It was the worst
fucking
thing.
horrible. It was awful. It
Yeah,
came out
yeah.
the worst. It was the worst possible thing.
I died.
I literally died. Like you were talking. I'm talking via ghost.
Ghost
powers.
box.
We're all ghosts at this point.
We're all ghosts.
Yes. So, yeah, we all enjoyed it though. We all had a
And
good
I'm
time
back.
with it. Oh yeah, Mike is back now.
Mike.
Yeah, I'm glad you got rid of
looking
the
a lot less
tan. It didn't
gay
look good on him.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh.
You're a little bit more male now.
I have a penis.
Whoa. You have a penis?
Yeah.
Wow, this got weird fast. Okay.
Salmon.
So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna explain my recipe. So what I made was basically a baked salmon layered with yellow bell pepper, like along with a mango guacamole, long grain rice and broccoli. Basically, just like a full everything you could possibly need meal. You know, you have like your grain, you've got your meat, you got your vegetables, you've got like a hearty one in there as well as like a regular flavor. It was the full package basically. It was about as good as probably as good as I could have made it, honestly, given the situation. So we're gonna continue like we did last time, and we're going to go back around in the circle and just explain pros, cons, critiques, all that over again. Mike, we're gonna start with you. We always start on that side. What do you mean shit?
Because I was the last time I was here, I was the last guy, because I made the dish. So that makes sense, anyways.
No, we just start. We just started. We start these
Oh, yeah,
podcasts.
'cause we started.
No, there's a theme in these. There's a theme in these podcasts, and the theme is that we always start on the opposite side from the host, which is always your seat.
No, the theme.
So even when it
is
wasn't you
food.
here, the theme is food. Yeah, but this is like an underlying motif. Cock munch.
Subplot.
Anyway,
Subplot.
go ahead.
You mean the sub theme?
Oh my god. Just
Anyways,
tell me what you thought of my
so-
goddamn dish. You drunk motherfucker.
I'm not drunk.
Okay, I know, but whatever.
It's called alcoholic. So I'm a really enjoy fish a lot. Like out of my entire family, I'm the person that will go to a cruise just for the seafood like dishes and all that. And for example, I think Eggs Benedict or something. I don't know. Basically, it's just you put like salmon with an egg and egg. Casing, whatever.
Oh,
Is it called Eggs Benedict?
I know what it
Completely
is.
wrong, but-
it's something on Carl, I think, something like that. It's French.
No, it's. Which one was British? I don't fucking know.
Either way, we know what you mean.
Either way, but yeah, but I love salmon, and the sad thing is I never get enough. I can't like. Usually, I just don't have the time to cook it and all that. So whenever I have the chance, it's really amazing. So okay, thanks, magical hand of John's, and
Thanks, disembodied hand that moved the microphone.
so and not only that I just came from work, and being super tired and out of it, it was really good. It's healthy. It had everything. I got the scraps.
Yeah, Mike got here. So what happened was I was cooking, and Mike said he'd be here around 7:30ish. He shows up at like 8:10, and we just sat down to eat because everything was done. and it was kind of
He
crazy.
gave me a dog bowl and told me just sit on the floor.
Okay, I'm not that cruel. It
He
was a
lapped
cat
it up.
bowl. Cats are better than dogs.
Spat it in.
Sometimes.
Like, eat up, big boy. And I'm like, okay.
Cats have more personality.
Yes.
At least unique personality from cat to cat.
Fair enough.
Listen, this isn't Chinese food.
But
We
dogs
gotta
eat-
talk about salmon.
Fuck.
Fuck. Anyway, continue.
But when it came to like the avocado, I will definitely say I never had like guacamole on salmon before, so that was a new twist for me. And I enjoy guacamole, but I'd rather have it on chips and all that. I'm a classic G.
That's fair enough.
But it was really good. I'll definitely say that. The rice, there's rice, and broccoli is broccoli, and that's it.
So it was just generally good. You're like,
It was good. Like, I can't really say anything bad about it. I didn't like. I'm not rushing to the bathroom or spitting it in a napkin. It's not bad.
Fair enough.
So I don't have any critiques. I ate it.
I'm tired. I was hungry. I ate it, and it was good.
I had like
Done.
Like, only critique is make more.
That salmon was 3 pounds of salmon. That costs more than the rest of the ingredients and chips.
And that doesn't deny getting more.
Okay, 2 fillets. I'll make 2 fillets. So get more.
Mike, have you ever heard the great saying about it? Let them eat cake.
Let them eat salmon.
It's a mistranslation.
Let them eat fish.
And Jesus said on
And Jesus said, "Let them eat pussy."
and Jesus on the 8th day said, "Man, this fish is big." And then the lead singer, Real Big Fish, came out of nowhere.
And he was like, "Ba ba 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 na ba na 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 na." Oh
Dude,
shit!
can
I
you
totally
imagine
beat
if
that.
Jesus was in a ska band?
Whoops. I'll have to fix that then. I'm gonna back this away. There we go. I think that's good.
So yeah, Jesus and the lead singer of Real Big Fish were having salmon, and they said, "Man, this needs some good guacamole by a man named Michael O'Connor." Don't know why that specific name came up in their heads and in the propal.
Because it's like the most common Irish name you can think of.
But they're
There are, like,
Middle
millions of
Eastern.
O'Connors.
Not Real Big Fish, because he's in the 90s, in American.
Probably dead.
California. No, he's not dead. Sadly.
He's in California?
Shockingly. Yeah, he's from California.
At least basically dead.
He's a dead beat, not dead.
Okay. John.
What's up,
What
dude?
you look like you were waiting to say. Like you're like,
I was
okay.
excited.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Oh man, dude, your proportions were perfect. Everything fit really well. The salmon was perfect. The only thing that I have personal preference is more sodium, because I'm a whore for sodium apparently, because I need a lot of salt added to my salmon. Peanut gallery Tia, she's like nodding her head, being like,
Hell
"You
yeah."
right, you right." But yeah, it was all good. I loved how you had little peppers on top. It added to the flavor. It kept it going.
And like, despite being like baked in the, no one mentioned this, but despite being baked with the salmon, those
Yeah.
peppers came out perfect too.
Yeah.
They were like just tough enough, but
Yes,
soft enough for it was
I
great.
agree. And the freaking rice, dude, that's a good fine rice right there. That was like
It's
if
tender and buttery.
I could have it just by itself and I would be okay with it. The broccoli, just fine. It was just like Mike said.
It was broccoli.
It was broccoli. It was nice to finally have like an individual solid vegetable on a dish, because we really didn't have that in all the other ones. Either they were mixed in or we added them in. It was nice to have something like, okay, here's your vegetables now. So that was a good taste, and of course the guac. I think we're all agreeing that the guac is pretty freaking solid.
I remember the first thing I heard after somebody took their first bite, I think it was Riley who said this. You were like, "You should make this guac again." You didn't even say like the whole meal.
That was
Oh, was
me.
you? Okay, I thought it was. I don't know why I thought it
I
was
was
Riley.
like, so you're making this again, right?
Oh, yeah, I will.
So yeah, I want chips and dip for this guac because it was so good. Yeah.
That was really, it did come out really good. That guac especially.
Anything I would change? Nothing. Yeah, that's it.
Riley.
Give me Oval Office Oral and call me Bill. That was some good fucking salmon.
Stop getting close to the mic. Every
We,
single time I
no,
talk-
see, he didn't peak at that time though.
Like literally.
You were louder than
He
he
did
was.
that.
just
He
then.
didn't do that.
I
on
am
purpose.
trying to critique like this. Shut the fuck up. Thank
Shut
you.
your face.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, when you get a spit guard for
Intense.
you, my man.
I can't wait for Michael to animate this.
But
You think I can draw?
No, not like,
Oh, you mean like do some shit? Okay. Like zoom in on his face, like.
yeah, you know how to
I could do that. I could do it.
Triggered and then.
Exactly. That was
do,
my
do
thought.
the classic Dewey.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, I have to edit that in too. Fuck. All right. Anyway, Riley, continue before I keep adding shit to my to-do list.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. I can't even pretend to be a dick.
I'm gonna go
That
back.
was some really good salmon.
I'm gonna go back to playing with Plato now. Tucker, are you okay with that?
No, that was great. Like it was cooked perfectly. It was like the perfect amount of flakiness without being dry. There was no parts that were like too raw. I would straight up eat that guac with a goddamn spoon, like all day, and probably die, but
Worth
in
it.
the best way.
Yeah.
That's how I want to die. Yeah, all the stuff went well with it. Broccoli, wild rice. Yeah, and I disagree with John and Tia. I think it was seasoned perfectly. It did not need salt. It was perfectly like buttery and salmony enough. The flavor spoke for itself.
It did not need salt, but if your preference dictated you'd like more salt, then it also worked. I think it was pretty equally fair.
I don't know if I have any complaints. I think if I had anything, and this isn't a complaint about this dish. I'm just saying, you wanted to make the guac a bit spicier, but the jalapeno didn't shine through. If you ever did it again and wanted to make it spicier, I'd recommend like serranos or habaneros.
Yeah, I do normally use serranos. I just
But
thought a jalapeno would give good
even
flavor,
without being
and it kind of
spicy.
did, but it wasn't super. Like the guac kind of overpowered. I needed like a second jalapeno.
Even without being spicy, though, that was awesome.
There were there were jalapeno seeds in there. I don't know
I
if you guys noticed. They were totally dead.
But
the guac just
it
completely.
was awesome. It was great.
Thank you.
Michael, how do you think your dish went?
Okay, I actually have a lot to say. The salmon was actually perfect. That's the best the salmon has come out before, because the edges were like super tender and the inside was still meaty and cooked like perfectly. The salmon was a thick boy. Like this was a very like a solid 2.5 inches thick at its deepest point. I think it was a big salmon. So the fact that it was cooked through like easy in and out of the oven, no need to put it back in, like was great. However, I started to realize like, oh, I never really season the salmon itself when I cook it. It's just salt, pepper, olive oil, and peppers. So I wonder if maybe I could experiment with that and see if I could find a good combination to pair with, the tanginess of the salsa. Aside from that, the salsa is like, this was not the best. It's like really good. No matter what, it always comes out really good, pretty much. This was a pretty poor example of what it can be though, because the jalapenos didn't come through at all. There's supposed to be like a little bit of a kick of spice around, the sweetness of the mango and like the savoriness of the avocado. Plus, I had avocados that were too ripe and a mango that was not ripe at all. So it was like kind of sour mango and like really soft. Like normally it's supposed to be like chunks of avocado, actually. But the fact that it was so soft that it just kind of naturally turned into guac, it worked. But it's just not supposed to be that way. The rice and the broccoli were like perfect though. They didn't need to be any different. Those were pretty good. But yeah, I guess I don't know. The guacamole can be made better, so I guess I'll have to make it again. Chips for you guys these days.
Tomorrow.
You paying for it? All right. If you're gonna pay for it, I'll make it.
I'll Venmo you.
Yo, you got Venmo? Yo, can I like WhatsApp you some cash? Can you do that in WhatsApp?
Can I Facebook messenger you like $40?
You can do that.
Yeah,
you can do that.
My
I
friend
know.
tried doing that for like $1,000, and he was like, "I was like, what the fuck's wrong?"
Like
with
he
you?"
requested $1,000.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? He's like, I tried my best.
Worth a shot. I should like send out a mass like request for money on Venmo, like just like $5. See how many people are like, yeah, sure, fuck it.
I'm just a poor college student.
Nobody loves me.
a penny.
Join my
So-
Patreon.
Poor psych student
So
trying
I
to
can
make
get
it
my
in this
friends
big
some-
wide world.
I'll suck a pill.
I'll suck your penis for $5.
No, I won't. Riley, that's your job. You're the. Anyway.
Check
Tinder, ladies. He's
Like he's holding his ass open. He's not like ready for a relationship. He's just kind of bending over, like prostate exam me,
He's
please.
like pegging, please.
Peg me, please. Okay. The peanut gallery is
I'm so
signaling to
sorry,
stop,
our
so
audience.
we're gonna move on.
So
Yeah, that one got that got a little dark. Ugh.
I
Okay,
didn't
so
like it. I didn't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like
Riley
it.
is a nice
You
guy.
really need to be
He's a
that
nice
loud,
boy.
actually.
Boy.
You're like,
Michael
you're like
can
perfect.
also
You
be
just
a
want
nice
to talk.
boy.
Yeah, just say it at like perfect distance.
Just wanted to say that out loud.
Okay, yeah. So we need to move on because there's a final point we want to make here. I know, Mike, you're a bit out of this one. Not like out of it, but like it's gonna be a little bit different for you because you weren't here for every single meal. But I wanted to see what everybody's favorite was. We're not gonna pick a winner, I don't think. I think it's kind of unfair because they're all super different.
Then you can't pick your own.
Yeah, and you can't pick your own. So we're gonna say the rule here is you pick your favorite and it can't be your own. And I guess Tia will include you in this one because Tia was actually here for every single one.
She was here for.
I was not here for Mike's though.
She was here. For
You were not
three
here
of
for
them.
Mike's, you're right. You're here for 3 of them, and so you guys will both give your favorite out of what you had, I suppose. And then Mike, Riley, and I will give like weigh in for everybody's like collectively.
For me, I don't know because I'm a fat ass, so like both meals are pretty good. So oh well. Sorry for slapping the mic.
Oh my god, that
Yeah,
waveform.
I just noticed
Sorry.
it was like a really puny waveform.
No, because I was just chilling in my chair. Like I said, I'm a fat ass, so when it comes to food in general, I just like it. The ramen is just good in general, just because it's like, it's friendly for your pockets. Like, honestly, you spend $10 at Pops, and you can make more than one meal.
Something just clicked for me, actually. Before I sorry to interrupt you, but I just realized something. Mike was only here for his dish and my
Yeah,
dish,
and-
so by default, he has to pick mine. Which is kind of unfair for me.
And that's why I decided to pick mine.
That's fair.
Fuck you.
Well, we do have left.
Hi, Dad.
So we could
I didn't
technically-
eat yet.
Oh, Mike
True.
could try ours.
Mike could try all of ours.
They're just left.
So for now, we'll say stagnant. And then I'll put in the description what he chose as his favorite.
We'll just say sterile.
Hey, that's me! I wish. Fuck kids. Anyway.
That's fun.
Not-
I know.
not
I know. I
literally.
had to back out of that joke so fast.
You
I was like,
should preface that you're not literally.
I'm not.
kids.
No, not. Yeah, of course not literally. Okay. So, Mike, what are you gonna decide for your vote?
Sterile.
Okay. John, what are you thinking? Really? Wow, thank you. It's actually super nice. Thank you.
I have to go for yours.
Fuck. Okay. I didn't think it was that good. For mine, I think I have to go for. Oh fuck, these are both really good. And Mike's, yours was like yours stood out. I think yours stood out the most out of all the meals. I think because I didn't like for like how much it cost you to make that. It was like crazy efficient and like super easy.
Brother, when you work on only like $100 in your bank account for like weeks on end because of bills, you find ways to make Gucci shit out of like goddamn scraps.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've been there though. But like this thing looks like yours, like Riley, yours was like super good, like straight up Italian food, and John, yours was like holy shit, this is like some of the craziest like cool comfort food I've ever had. So like,
What you had?
I don't know.
I had chicken roll-ups, which is like chicken parm and cheese.
Okay.
Over like noodles, it was just really good. We have leftovers, so you can try it.
Okay.
I think.
Tia, what did you make?
Well, good company.
Wait, can you hear me? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you can be heard.
Okay, cool. My favorite dish. I
Well,
think
hold on,
is-
wait. I haven't picked mine yet.
Oh,
Hold on.
what the-
You're wondering
Mi-
what
Mi-
your
Mi- Mike
dish
was cracking a
was.
joke about what you made. She didn't. She filled in for you because your dumbass couldn't come.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to close 2 nights. I was a working blue collar worker.
I've been up
of
at 6
depression.
a.m. the past 3 days. We cannot. It's not
I am
big
a-
measure this.
I'm a
Okay,
I'm a
not-
laboring man helping society. I ain't no white collar bitch.
Yeah, that's not overdriven. I can work with that. I'm gonna go with Riley's, I think, because homestyle Italian cooking is really great, and while they're all basically a tie, it was your first time making that, right?
Mhm.
It was also yours though, John. So I guess
Riley
it's
over
not really
here,
fair.
fucking gay sipping looking ass.
I went back for shit. This is hard. It's between John and Riley, I think, because considering that is both their first time making it, and they were both like super good. Oh, man. I think I'm gonna go for Riley's, because I like the meaty sauce was really good. The sausage was like perfectly cooked. Throwing it over noodles was really great. It was really enjoyable.
So when Riley, when you were throwing it, did you overhand it or underhand it?
Overhand
Fucking
every time.
loser. Gotta do the hand
Okay.
motion. What did you do? Tortellini?
Actually, it was
Squidward tortellini.
Actually, it was rigatoni.
It was rigatoni actually.
Did it right
Fucking
from
sauce it like
uncultured,
Mussolini.
non-Italian fuck.
Okay. Tia, what was
Riley,
your favorite?
Riley over here hanging like Mussolini.
Fuck stain. Listen.
hanging like Mussolini. You mean like from like a bell tower?
No, no, they fucking treat him like dog shit. They hang him from a gas station.
He was a fat.
I'm not joking. The
Okay.
Italian people were like, fucking loser, get over here, you fucking scrub. And they use like, Hitler, help me. And Hitler's like, sure thing, buddy.
Commits
And they're
die.
Like, they were like, don't worry, we're gonna get you like out of here. Cause like Italy was going through the revolution while US was on their ass. So they're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And then they're like, as they're about to get to the border, like the rebellious Italians were like, hold up. Mussolini? Is that you? You fucking Melvin.
You fucked up this country for the last time.
They pushed them around the locker rooms and they just hanged them from the, gas station. Who knew it was BP?
After they taped a sign to his back that said "kick me,"
No, it just said
shoved him in a locker.
it just said wee wee.
Carved a name into his stomach. It reference.
Hey Tia,
Tia, what was your favorite?
Sorry, I had to go on my history tangent.
It's funny. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, I'm yawning. My favorite I think was Riley's because I'm a simple girl who likes meat, sauce, and pasta. Shut up.
Phrasing.
I
Shush.
could have just said meat sauce, but you made that space there.
Yeah. You put a comma there. You knew what you were doing.
Any but. I'm a simple girl who likes pasta, sauce, and meat. So I think Riley's was my favorite.
Fair. Well, that was a
I
fun
don't know why, I
experiment.
was just thinking fucking. What's the. I don't want to say McDonald's, but whenever you said it, I'm just a basic one. Like, we live in the material world.
And I am a
material
material
girl.
Yes.
Copyright.
That is much
Dude,
ain't
we're not
getting
getting monetized
monetized
anyway.
We don't have enough.
We're
We
not-
just had to talk about Mussolini.
not enough not enough views, not enough subscribers, not enough giving a shit about monetization.
His
rules.
subscribers, whack. His humor, whack.
Whack.
His views, whack.
His ride, whack. His upload schedule,
His
whack.
salmon, pretty fucking good actually.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Whack.
Well, thank
I'm
you
gonna
guys.
whack off to that salmon.
Anyway, thank you guys all so much for being here. It's not bestiality if it's already dead. It's necrophilia.
Okay.
Alright,
Anyway, no, hold on. Okay,
and
so
we're done.
all right. So thank you guys also for being here. Everybody who watched, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna link everybody's information down below, except for Rally because he doesn't really do anything. Do you
What
upload anything?
channel?
It's right
I
on it.
uploaded around the bend.
Oh, really? Okay, well then I'll link his channel in the description. Tia will also be there. She has an Instagram where she plays flute because she's
cool.
talented
She's
like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
And Justin has a couple of Instagrams I will also link down below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this weird. Hey, Justin was here yesterday. Remember?
Yeah, he filled in for my
Oh
voice.
yeah.
Because I was
just
depressed
Oh.
yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. You guys
Wasn't
just
doing laundry?
can't wait to see you around more. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
Love how you're waving as if there's a camera.
I'm so used to being on camera with this episode, I can't help it.
No, I don't know if it
Ah!
caught. I don't know if
You
it
can cut
caught
it.
it, but I said, wait,
Cut.
he wasn't doing laundry.